Hey everyone, my name is the Theme Park Evangelist. Well, it is time for a brand new episode of the history of the Theme Park Evangelist. And actually, tonight's episode correlates to one I did last Monday, or whatever it was, last Sunday, last Monday. I'm gonna say last Monday. So normally I do my out of the house vlogs on Sundays, and then I do my at home vlogs on Mondays. Well, today I'm going to do something completely um, unusual, and I'm going to be discussing my at home vlog today on Monday, and I did my out of the house vlog today on Monday as well. Yesterday I was really tired. Yesterday, for that matter, I actually got up early and I went and volunteered at church. Both services. I would go to Grace Fellowship Church in Florence, Kentucky, and I've been going there a little over 2 years. And actually, it was my fiance Katie who introduced me to the church in the first place. But they were doing a special missionary luncheon afterwards. So by the time I got home yesterday, it was about 2:30. So I ended up taking a nap for the next hour or two, and then the next thing I know, it was like almost 6 o'clock. I was like, "Oh my word, I might have fallen asleep longer," but it is what it is. And instead of working on my YouTube channel, I ended up finishing up a game of Age of Empires 2, very old game by the way, with my brother that still ended up lasting another hour and a half easily. And yeah, after that, I ended up spending a little time with Katie, went back to her place for a little bit, and then came home and crashed right all over again, as funny as it is. So, usually the first 10 minutes or so, I like to go over upcoming announcements. So, first of all, there really isn't much going on during the month of August. This is a slower time of the year for me because of the fact that there really isn't much going on. Kings Island is getting ready to slow down here soon. So we're going to start with Sunday. So Sunday, I am planning on going back to Kings Island that evening, and we'll have to see what their hours are. Maybe I might go a little earlier, depending on what time they close at. More than likely 7 o'clock, with them getting ready to close earlier, even if Katie can't come. And I would like to show you guys via YouTube Short, which is something I started doing earlier this year on a frequent basis, is the Grain and Grill restaurant at Kings Island. So make sure you check that out that evening. The nice thing about YouTube Shorts are 9 times out of 10, I usually upload them like that. It's pretty instantaneous. Next Monday, I am not doing much, so more than likely, at some point next Monday, going to do an at-home vlog like I'm doing right now. But next Monday, I know this is not really anything that's uplifting God through my YouTube channel. So for those of you who do not know, about 8 years ago, TJ is the one who helped me start up this YouTube channel in the first place, came up with this crazy idea of playing around in Spirit Halloween. That is the name of the YouTube series I decided to come up with, and I have not yet created a playlist for it, which is hilarious. And it became a tradition of mine, so literally every single year, between August and October, I go to Spirit Halloween at least one time, and I show you guys what Spirit Halloween looks like that particular Halloween. And I usually have somebody like TJ or Katie film me messing around the animatronics, and then sometimes I give genuine reactions to the animatronics. Sometimes I over exaggerate to make it look worse, and sometimes I just like to be just downright goofy and just kind of go with the flow. So if you enjoy seeing me messing around at Spirit Halloween without getting kicked out, then you're definitely going to want to check out this year's Playing Around Spirit Halloween in 2024, or Playing Around Spirit Halloween again in 2024. Now, if you cannot wait for that, I have amazing news for you, because the country music lover of Polk County, aka TJ, has already gone ahead and shown what Spirit Halloween looks like this year. Just head over to his YouTube channel. His YouTube channel is actually one of my featured YouTube channels. You just have to scroll all the way down near the bottom, click on Country Music Lover of Polk County. It's the very first vlog at the very top, as you'll see. So anyway, that's what's going to be going on next week. And the week after that, not really sure what's going on, but the good news is August 31st, David Crowder is going to be performing at the Ark Encounter. So I am planning on filming at least some of his concert, not all of it, but some of it. And I wanted to share it with you guys. And it's going to be titled My First Time Seeing David Crowder Live at the Ark Encounter. Just so you guys know in advance what I'm planning on calling the vlog. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to that, and I will let you guys know come September my fall vlogs will be finally starting up, and I'm really excited about August 22nd because that is when I will be going to Starbucks to get my first fall drink of the year. So yay. But yeah, I will go ahead and tell you guys I do have more fall vlogs planned, and just when September rolls around, come on and check my YouTube channel to see what I have to offer you guys. And I'm going to be bringing back some old vlogs or some recurring vlogs, I should say, and some brand new vlogs. Also, next month, I'm really excited to say I'm moving to Dry Ridge. So I'm moving out of my parents' house, and I'm moving in with a guy that works at the Ararat Ridge Zoo. And, that's in Williamstown, Kentucky, but he lives in Dry Ridge. Not too far from Country Pumpkins, which I'm going to be vlogging again this year. Just so you guys kind of know what to expect. So I'm really looking forward to that. Anyway, enough said. Let's go ahead and get on to the topic. So last Monday I was discussing my first time ever going to Top of the World Lounge, which is a lounge on top of Bay Lake Tower at Walt Disney World, next door to the Contemporary Resort. And I did not mention it, but I did kind of briefly mention that before I had done that, I had gone over to Universal Orlando Resort to City Walk, and it was actually opening night of Voodoo Donuts at Universal City Walk. And that's been, 6 years, or a little over 6 years now? So here's the story behind it. Obviously, I showed up there, and it was actually my former friend Melissa, the person who helped me get into Top of the World Lounge in the first place. And that was another sponsored vlog. That's something I've been talking about more recently, but I'll go over that more later. And she was like, Voodoo Donuts is opening at Universal Orlando. I was like, oh, what's that? And she's like, oh, these are some of the best donuts you'll ever eat. And yes, it did kind of give that satanic feel in some ways, but in a lot of ways I did not feel it. And the donuts are ridiculously cheap. I was like, wow. And they're really good. They're really rich. I do see a lot of Universal guests that stop at Voodoo Donuts on their way into the parks because they want their breakfast if they, are coming in from, the parking garages. So the very first night, I remember getting in this line, and they were just letting in a little bit of people at a time. And finally, I got my opportunity, so of course I had to film it. It was, really weird, and I showed everybody the donuts that they had, and I decided on my very first night I was going to get the Voodoo doll. Now, instead of making you guys guess how long I waited, I'm just going to go ahead and straight up tell you. I waited an hour. And you might think, oh, David, you're ridiculous. Like, why would you wait an hour to go into a donut shop? I mean, come on, it was brand new. It was well worth it. It's just like when Sprinkles first opened at Disney Springs. I waited maybe 15 minutes. I mean, they were originally telling us, oh, it's going to be an hour, and I only waited 15 minutes. And I was like, heck, what's, the big deal? This is brand new, and this is amazing content from my YouTube channel. Well, I felt the same way about Voodoo Donuts if it came down to it. I was like, brand new donut shop. It's really popular. There's a long line. I got to go check this out. And I will go ahead and tell you guys, if you want to go see the vlog, I would navigate over to my Universal Orlando Resort vlog playlist. When I was living in Central Florida, for those of you who do not know, I lived in Central Florida for 25 years, and I created a playlist dedicated to Universal Orlando, especially because that was my very first playlist I ever worked on. And that was my third year in a row, not second, third year in a row that I was a annual pass holder. So the nice thing about going to Voodoo Donuts, as I discovered over time, not only did my pass give me a discount there, according to my cousin Ryan, who is a manager for Universal, he also gets a major discount there. Sometimes they just give him free donuts just for no good reason. And I'm just like, I'm not going to complain. I mean, the donuts, if you got like a dozen of them, it's gonna cost you less than $15, and that's even after tax. I mean, come on, like, where do you find donuts that cheap? I mean, they might come as high as $20. Granted, I haven't been in Voodoo Donuts in a long time, but about 6 years ago, that's exactly how expensive it was. It was less than $3. And I was just like, dang, I can't even go to Dunkin' Donuts anymore for a dozen donuts for less than $20. It's now over $20. There was a point of time, get this, when I used to go to Dunkin' Donuts on Wednesday nights for my coworkers when I worked at Publix, and it cost me exactly $20. And I was like, what happened? And I kind of feel the same way about Voodoo Donuts. Like, okay, maybe 6 years ago was like $1 or $3 a donut. So what is it now? I mean, I need to go back and check it out. I mean, it's kind of obvious. I do go to Universal every single year, but I'm not always up to date with everything that they have going on. I've actually become more interested recently in Universal's theme park expansion, especially of Epic. So this might not be related to the Voodoo Donut story, but I did want to tell you guys, as a YouTuber, one thing that really differentiates me from, let's say, the Tim Tracker. The Tim Tracker is obviously a local. He lives in Orlando, Florida, and he goes to all the parks on a regular basis. But I'll tell you right now, yes, Tim does frequently do ride construction updates, and he goes and checks out rides on just before it opens. He's part of the media. Yes, Tim does go to Universal to go try out different restaurants, try out different foods, but Tim also spends a lot of time showing guests different merchandise, especially new merchandise, every single year, or every single time he goes in there. And hold on, I gotta pause this. Sorry about that. That was Katie kind enough to bring me my airport badge and my Chick-fil-A name tag that I absentmindedly left in my car. Just got her car back today, so I told her I would be willing to drive it to work tomorrow to see if it will act up anymore. Apparently it was acting up over the weekend, and I decided, since I'm getting tired now, to go ahead and lay back for the time being. I'm almost done here. So the purpose of my YouTube channel is to, let's just say I'm down in Central Florida, for example, is to show you guys ride expansions, or ride construction updates, theme park expansions, theme park land expansions, the odd occasional a new restaurant, and of course, different events. Very seldom will you catch me showing anybody merchandise. I'm not a big merchandise fan. I know a lot of people are. If you guys are familiar with my Kings Island content, I'll tell you guys right now, you're not going to find a lot of content about the merchandise. Not a lot at all, because it's just not my style. Now, I know there are a lot of people that are like, oh, I love merchandise, but there's a reason why I'm not a huge fan of it, and you have to actually go back and watch my How I Have Saved Money Living in Central Florida. So I'll go ahead and wrap this up by telling you guys that tomorrow I'm going to actually be vlogging my final How I Met Vanita YouTube series. And it's, kind of bittersweet, but this gives me the perfect opportunity to come up with a brand new YouTube series from there that will, Lord willing, be also very good. But I really enjoyed talking about it while I did. This one still has a long ways to go. So, how can I conclude this YouTube video? Well, was I glad I went to see Voodoo Donuts? Absolutely. Would I go back to Voodoo Donuts again? You never know. I might. Are they well worth the money? 100% they are. They are very cheap, and I mentioned that earlier. Do I wish I had any pictures to show you guys? Yes, I do. But they are buried in my personal Facebook somewhere, and they are not easy to find. And I don't remember what is supposed to be talked about next, but I will definitely check my itinerary and let you guys know. Well, I unfortunately have to be up in a little over 5 hours for work, so I will see you guys in the next vlog. And always remember, you can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. Have a great night. Peace out.